Hey guys, welcome to another update video. I really don't have anything to fix right now, so I wanted to update everybody, it's everybody who cares anyways, about my cancer situation. It's not going good. I did get on that clinical trial that I had said before. I believe I said something about it back in April, or not in April, February or March. I said something about the clinical trial, and they took me off the IV chemotherapy, and I had to be off it for a month before they would start the clinical trial. And I was actually off it for 6 weeks before they started the clinical trial because they were dropping the ball a little bit, I guess. They should have been, they wanted all these tests done, then they didn't want them done, and they weren't scheduling them, and then they finally got the ones they wanted done, and I went ahead and started the trial, but then it had a couple of bad side effects. One was a severe rash, which I still got a little bit, just a tiny bit left after being taken off of it. I finished the clinical trial, but for 2 weeks I was on it and got the rash, and retaining fluids was another side effect, and my hands were swelling up, my feet and legs were swollen. I could barely put them in a pair of pants. So I was on water pills, and after a 2-week break of that, I was better. So they lowered the dose of one of the trial drugs, and it helped. I was able to get through the whole 28-day cycle of the trial drugs. The rash was starting to come back, and I was still retaining quite a bit of water, quite a bit of fluids, but it wasn't quite as bad. But they did another scan the day they took me off of the trial, and it showed no shrinkage but no growage. So it kept it from growing, but it didn't take it down any and make it any smaller. So in effect, it didn't really, for the side effects, they felt it wasn't worth continuing to try it. And they had to wait another 2 weeks for all of that chemo drug to get out of me, the pills, because it was pills that time. And last Wednesday, because it's Wednesday today, yeah, it's Wednesday, May 22nd, I think. After last Wednesday was 2 weeks, and they put me back on the liquid chemotherapy. They put me on the same thing that I started out with when I first was diagnosed, because it knocked the tumor down. It's been the only one so far that has knocked the tumor down immensely. It took it from when we started at 6 centimeters to 3 centimeters, and then all the rest of the stuff has just kept it at bay, I guess you want to say. It kept it around 3 centimeters, but it wasn't shrinking and it wasn't growing. So, but because I was off the chemo for so long, it has grown. It's now almost back up to where it was when we started, which is a huge step backwards for me. And quite honestly, that I'm afraid. We were all really hopeful that this was going to work and that possibly do something good in my body to make me be able to be around longer. And once again, now it's just a big question mark. And I'm still, you take it one day at a time. Every day I wake up is another day I have with my wife, my kids, my grandkids. And unfortunately, that's the way I've come to live my life over the last 2.5 years. It's been almost, well, 2 3/4 year, almost 3 years. In August, it'll be 3 years since my diagnosis. And I don't know what to do. The doctors haven't come out and said, hey, you got 6 months and that's it. You're not going to be alive in 6 months. They haven't said anything like that. But I know there are not too many more drugs they can put me on that will have effect on the cancer. On this type of cancer anyways. So they got me a counselor, and I've been talking with him, and he's a nice guy and everything. But he always asks me, how's that make you feel? How do you feel about that? And I was honest with him, and I told him straight up. I was like, the way I deal with it, I guess, is I have accepted the fact that this will take my life someday. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe a year from now, or 5 years from now. Who knows? It's not in my hands. And it never was. And I don't know if that helps me handle it better. Just feeling that, okay, someday it's going to take my life. And I just continue to live day by day. I have good days, I have bad days. And today is a good day. Yesterday was an okay day. But the first 3 or 4 days after this last chemo treatment, I was down. I was laying on the couch. I couldn't do anything. I would get up, I'd get lightheaded. I had no energy. I was tired. I was sleeping, taking hour naps all day. And honestly, that's what I hated about doing the chemo treatments. Is after a while, you feel blah. Like, it doesn't matter what you do, you're going to feel the same. And while I was working, it was okay because that gave me something to do, keep my mind off the cancer. But when my boss retired and shut the shop down, I would go in for 3 or 4 hours every day to give me some structure, some normalization, I guess. A normal routine. I had to get up in the morning, I had to go to work, I had to do this, I had to do that. And then we decided to move because the shop was shut down, and no other shop is going to take on a part-time mechanic like that can only work a couple of hours a day and then go, because I'd work, but when I get home I'd sleep for 2 or 3 hours too. So what kind of life is that, really, if you think about it? So after the move, you know, I figured, well, there's no way in hell anybody down here is going to hire me for part-time. You know, say I have a really bad day, I try to go in and then I have to leave in the middle of a job. You know, that's just not, you don't do that. Well, I don't do that. So yeah, I am scared, not knowing what the future holds. And I just do it one day at a time. I promise to get a couple repair videos out. I'll try to. I have some of the stuff that my wife's car needs, and I just don't have the energy again to sit down and do the work. And so that's pretty much this update video for you guys. I appreciate everybody that watches and all the prayers that people pray. It does help. So as always, like, comment, and subscribe. We're at 852 subscribers, so we're almost to 1,000, which would monetize me, where they'd pay me for the videos you guys get to view. Now, honestly, I don't make the videos to make money off them. Obviously, I would have stopped a long time ago and said screw it. But it'd be nice to get a little bit of money come in for that, because I do put in hours to do that. And we'll see y'all in the next one.